Well, hey there everyone, it's Anthony, back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi, hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Today we're out here with another vlog, same as yesterday, just got done doing a live stream. Well, wait. Yeah, just got done doing a live stream. And now we're out here taking Apollo for a little potty walk. I feel like I have been doing single and placing content a lot this weekend. Give you a quick life update over the past 24 hours. And then we're going to jump into trying to respond to some comments because I'm falling very behind. But I hope you're doing well. Come on, that's just wood. So yeah, yesterday I did a live stream, and then once that was done, I came out and filmed a vlog where I complained about Diamond Art Club. I haven't edited that yet, so we'll see how much of that I keep in. and then after that, I came back home, and I kitted up my mystery kit from Mystical Dream Diamonds. That's my round mystery kit that I worked on alongside Janet over at Mystical Dream Diamonds to see how it would turn out. So I filmed the unboxing, and then I did the kitting up last night, gave her some feedback on my thoughts. I filmed it all, and then I started working on it, and I filmed a little kind of whip-in chat just to see how the few colors would look down, and finished that up because I had to leave, and that was that. So from there, I went to my brother's show last night. He did a show at this place called Bounce Empire, which I believe I've talked about before. It's this big indoor inflatable bounce house place. So went and did that. I show up, and I thought he was the opener. It was from 10 to 2. I thought he was the opener. I was already feeling kind of tired when I showed up. It's about a 40-minute drive from here. So I get there a few minutes before 10. I'm like, okay, perfect. I'll watch his set, or at least a portion of it, show my support, and then head out. So I get there, and he's hanging out in the parking lot, and I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, oh, hey, good to see you. I'm like, don't you go on in a minute? He's like, no, I don't go on until midnight. And I was like, oh, I could have stayed home an extra 2 hours, or just said, I can't do this. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go inside and hang out. Ready? How about? I'm gonna go inside and hang out, and the 10 o'clock person was already starting. He's like, yeah, there's a DJ starting. We'll probably head in a little bit. I was like, okay. So I go in and got some food. They have some pretty, I felt a drop of rain. Please rain. Please rain. They have some pretty decent food there for it being kind of like a little amusement thing for families and kids, but at 10 o'clock, it's 18 and up. So got some food. Upstairs, they have a bar, and I went up there and sat down and hung out, and then went back downstairs and saw him walking around. So we were just listening to the DJ that was playing, and I got a beer. They serve drinks there, which is really interesting because when you sign the waiver, they make you sign a safety waiver, and it's like, do not bounce on the bounce houses after consuming alcohol or under the influence of anything. And then there's a bar there, right? It's literally an inflatable bar. Like, the bar is inflatable. I'll put in pictures and videos if I can remember. and they're serving drinks. So it's like, okay, you tell people to sign a waiver saying that they're liable and that no, they should not be under the influence of alcohol or anything while they're at the facility, and yet you are serving them. There's 2 bars. There's one upstairs that's a normal sit-down bartenders, and then the one that's down with the bounce houses is inflatable. It's got this giant octopus around it, and you scan your little wristband, and they put your drink in a little sippy cup so it doesn't spill while you're bouncing. So they kind of encourage it, but then they also state that they're not liable if you're getting tipsy and you bounce and fall and hurt yourself, but they're gonna serve you the drinks. It's very weird. So ready? Get up there. So yeah, it was just interesting how their setup is. But it's very cool. It's a cool spot. I only went in one of the little bounce houses because I just was tired. I wasn't really in the mood to be a bouncing. So I just sat there and sipped my beverage while I listened to the DJs, and they have these inflatable couches and stuff. So I was just sitting on one of those hanging out. And let's go this way. Apollo, this way. This way. He's pulling me towards the pizza place. You're not getting pizza. So I was just sitting there hanging out, and then I literally was playing Magic the Gathering on my phone, sitting there listening to the DJ and waiting for him to go up. And by this point, he was 45 minutes away from going up. I kid you not, I fell asleep sitting there with my phone in my hand, and luckily I was only asleep for maybe 15 minutes. No one bothered me, or no one stole my phone out of my hands. I wake up and I'm like, oh. And so I had to get myself together, and he was going on in a few minutes. I went over there and filmed him for a little bit. I filmed for a few minutes, and then I stayed there for about half of his set. And it's 12:30 in the morning, and I've got a 40-minute drive home, so I just very casually snuck my way out of there and came home and went to bed. I was like, yeah, I can't be. I was just tired, I can do a late night, but I just hadn't set myself up for a late night, and I think I was still tired from all that yard work and doing the chicken coop stuff over at Matt and Ben's, so I was just not feeling it. So I texted him, I was like, hey, I'm dipping out a little bit, or I dipped out a little bit early for your during your set, but you did a fantastic job, and I just had to, by the time I got home, it was 1:15 in the morning. It's I just had to get home, so, yeah. And he wrote me back, he's like, no problem, we had a good time, thanks for coming out and supporting, all that stuff, so. It was cool. It's a unique little venue. The stage is on hydraulics, so that it raises up, and lowers and stuff. It was really cool. And so I think he had a good time, and they seemed to be having fun. Now, he did this, so he has his DJ name. His buddy has his own DJ name, but when they do it together, it's a third name. So this was them together, and their style together is a little bit more heavy on the dubstep, whereas when he's by himself, it's a little bit more electronic with touches of dubstep, and I like his style by himself more than I like his style together with his buddy. It's still good, but I just like a little bit more electronic, a little less wub wub wub, whereas when they're together, it's very wub wub wub. And so yeah, but it was good. And there was a decent amount of people there. I mean, it's an 18 and up situation, so yeah, it was fine. But I had a good time. I was just tired, and I was like, I can't stay up till 1. And usually when he finishes his set, they'll stay and hang out with everybody else there for the next DJ. And I was like, I can't imagine leaving here at 2 in the morning and going home. So I left at 12:36-ish. So yeah, I came home, Went to bed immediately, let Apollo out. And then this morning I woke up and cuddled Apollo. And I was like, okay, get up, get some laundry going, get some stuff going, and then plunk down your Mystical Dream Diamonds mystery kit, get some more colors down so you can give Janet some feedback. So did that, put a few more colors down, and she said it's fine to share. So essentially what they did is, and I maybe have said as much yesterday, stay here, because there's a car coming. You have to stay. There's a car coming. Yeah. You stay right there. You stay right there. Yeah. Okay, now you can go. I may have mentioned some of this yesterday, but essentially they blurred the image slightly, but the majority of what they did, what her manufacturer did with the printed canvas, was change the tone of the colors. So they made things a lot darker and just kind of messed with the colors, the printed colors, to help mask the image, which in theory helps, but now you're placing drills on a background color that isn't even close to what the finished image will be. And that wasn't really what I envisioned. I envisioned you keep the same color palette, you just blur it so it's fuzzy. But when you place the drills over top, you're still gonna get generally the same color that's underneath. But I was placing like bright yellow drills, kind of rainbow colors, on top of like a deep brown auburn kind of blood red background, and then other areas it was black because they just really messed with the tone. Hi. This way, easy. Hi. So it just looked off because you've got these bright drills, like a bright canary yellow, and then behind it's like a deep brown. It kind of did the same thing that we were trying to avoid, is seeing the white between the round drills on a mystery kit, and now you're seeing like just really off colors. So I gave her that feedback. The other thing, how her manufacturer does rounds, is it's like the colored background with a white circle in the middle, similar to how Diamond Dots does it. So if you don't place dead center, then you're gonna see that white poking through if you're a poor placer like I am. So I gave her that feedback, and she's like, okay, let me go to the manufacturer and see, A, if they can change that white circle thing, just in general, mystery kit or not. And let me see, I'm gonna ask one more time if they can make the canvas blurry as opposed to fussing with the colors. And she was like, I gave them this same instruction the first time, and this is what they gave me back. So it could absolutely be that this is just gonna end up being a dead end. And I was like, that's totally fine. I appreciate you actually trying and putting a canvas into production and sending it out to me. That's far more than any other shop has done when I've asked them if this was a possibility. So I appreciate you at least giving it a shot. And I was like, if it ends up being that this is what they can do, then it's just not going to be something that works. And maybe there's a reason why other shops haven't ever done this. But it was cool to actually get to work with her and see the process come together and see the work that was done on it, and actually have a canvas in my hands that at least was an attempt, or a concept of it. And so that was cool. So I did appreciate it. So she said she's going to ask again and get back to me and see what they can do. But if it ends up being that that's kind of what they have at their disposal, then it'll probably just be something that just ends up kind of, it's a dead end, which is fine. So I told her, okay, well, I'm going to roll up the canvas and put it back in its box and set the drills aside. And if we need to revisit this and I need to keep working on it, you let me know. But just from the few colors I put down, I was like, this isn't really what I think would work, you know, or I think other people would be happy with. So, or customers would be happy with. And I think she agreed. I sent her plenty of pictures and stuff. So anyway, so I worked on that a little bit today, sent her my feedback and put it away. So I don't know if I'll ever come back to it. I'm not sure. If she needs me to for like research purposes, I will. But I'm just going to hang on to it until I get an answer of that's as good as that's what they can do, and we'll just scrap it. Or if she's like, keep working on it, I need to see more, or they need to see more. So I'm going to hold on to it for now until a decision's made. But I don't intend on completing that canvas. It's just, like I said, it's just not quite what I think we were hoping for. So that being said, I put that away, and then I was like, well, if you ever do square mystery kits, you let me know, you know, just a traditional square mystery kit with the white background. Let me know, because I'd still love to try a mystery kit from you if you decide to do those. And she's like, oh yes. You let me know if you want me to pick an image, or if you want to pick an image, and just to see how it looks, like the materials. So we chatted a little bit about that. So I'm most likely going to be ordering a square mystery from her. And I also have a custom that I need to order. So that's what happened there. So we did that. And then I was listening to Mia's live today, and I was like, okay, let's get some additional chores done. So I dusted, vacuumed the whole house, which needed to be done, especially the stairs. I hadn't done the stairs in a hot minute. And so there was so much Apollo hair that I vacuumed up today. It was disgusting. So got all that done, got laundry done, went through my bathroom. Hey, easy. Come on. Went through my bathroom and threw away some stuff that I didn't want to move with. So bathroom is now done. So now I have bedroom and bathroom done. Now I need main living room, dining room, kitchen, basement. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Got rid of quite a few things. I'm like, I just don't use this anymore. This could just go. So did that. There actually is one little 3-drawer storage thing that I didn't go through. I completely forgot about it. Maybe I'll do that when I get home. Because there's a bunch of stuff in there that can go too. But anyway, worked on that, swept, dishes, tidied up the kitchen, and then Mia's live ended. And I told her, I was like, if I finish all my chores, and get stuff done, then I'll probably go live this afternoon. And she was like, okay, cool. And then someone jumped in and was like, well, Angel's going live in 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, well, I'll give her, you know how I am. I usually say an hour after someone goes live, it's fair game, in my opinion. So I was like, okay, well, I'll give her an hour. That'll give me some time to put my filming equipment together and work on the canvas a little bit, give Apollo a treat. So did all that while Angel was live. She ended, and then I went live. So I went live for like almost 2 hours, and that was a lot of fun. Just got done. Got some work done on my Dreamer designs, and we were just chit-chatting and having a good time, and downloaded some new lo-fi music. And Mia jumped. I invited Mia, so Mia was there too. So of course things got crazy. We were talking about chain restaurants, and I was telling her about Cheesecake Factory because she just doesn't know what that is. And I was like, honey, I need to take you to the Cheesecake Factory when you come to the US. And she's like, I like cheesecake. And I was like, they have so many cheesecakes, you're gonna lose your mind. So anyway, we were just talking about that, and then we finished the live. It was a good time. Then she sent me a message and she's like, I'm looking at their menu and there's like 10 cheesecakes that I want. I'm like, okay. Well, when you come out here, we'll have to do a cheesecake tasting. But yeah, so that happened, and now we're here. Yeah, so now we're here. Just gonna go on a little cruise and try to respond to some comments. The other thing I wanted to mention, because I haven't mentioned it yet, and Mia's been very nice just to say there's some people that we wanted there that aren't gonna be able to go. So I was talking to her, and this is something I mentioned on a vlog that I ended up not saving, is I started to put together my plans for which parks I want to hit on which days for my Europe trip in September. So I kind of mapped out my route, and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to stick to Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and do a loop going from Copenhagen up to Stockholm, over to Oslo, then further west, and then back down. Mapped out this whole thing, and I was like, perfect. I'm going to be able to hit up like 11 parks, you know, this one on Monday, this one on Tuesday, you know, the whole thing. Mapped it out. And then I hopped into ChatGPT and was like, hey, I'm planning a trip starting the end of August, you know, the last half week of August through, or, you know, leaving the last weekend of August through the 16th, 17th, 15th, 16th of September, the day after Mia's birthday. Here's all the parks that I'd like to hit. Here's the order in which I plan on hitting them, because I wanted to make a loop. I don't want to backtrack on myself. And I need you to tell me where I should go, what cities I should be in at, you know, on what days to have a full park day. But the main thing was I told it I need you to look up all of the park hours for the season, for the 2026 season in September, and make sure that my plans align with operating hours. So it sat there and it's thinking and it's thinking. It comes back and it's like, only 2 of the parks that you want to visit are open on weekends during the time that you are going. All the other parks are closed. Either closed completely or closed. So, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Only 2 of the parks that you want to go to have are open on weekdays when you want to go. All the other parks that you were wanting to visit are either completely closed for the month of September, or they're on weekend only or 1 day a week operation. And I was like, oh no. And I should have looked this up last year when I said that I would go on this retreat. I should have looked it up to see what last year's hours were, because that would give me a good indication of what this year's hours were going to be. But I wasn't thinking about it because that's not how it works here in the US. Like our park season, theme park season usually starts Memorial Day, and then it runs all the way through Halloween, and sometimes a little bit longer. And yes, certain parks will close on Tuesdays or close on Wednesdays, and yeah, maybe some really small parks will move to weekend hours, but most theme parks are operating every day, you know, through their season. You know, with some exceptions, but September is usually not a month, at least here, where you're gonna have parks completely close. So that really shocked me. I was not expecting that. And what's funny is most of them close for September, and then they reopen in October for Halloween and fall stuff. But the kids go back to school in, August time. So a lot of parks, at least the ones that I was planning on visiting, will close for about 5 to 6 weeks while kids start school, and then they'll reopen for fall festivals. So I was very bummed because, yes, I would love to just go to Europe just for the diamond painting retreat and see Mia, but I don't have the money to do, like if I'm gonna make a Europe trip and go to Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, I'm gonna make the most out of that time and do all the things that I wanna do, So at first I was like, okay, well maybe you just go for 1 week, for 1 weekend, hit the parks that you can pick 2 that are open on weekends in Denmark, and then go to the 1 or 2 that are open on weekdays. And then the rest of the week, you just do other sightseeing stuff and then the retreat. So make it just like a 1 week trip. But again, if I'm going to go, I want to hit that part of Europe because there's a slim chance that I'm going to be going back to Norway or Sweden. Let's just be honest. There's a slim chance. So to go and only do like 20% or 15% of what I was hoping to do, I don't want to do that. So I talked to Mia and I was just like, hey, September is just not going to be the month for me to be able to go out there. I'm going to regroup and just continue to save money. And I'm going to shoot for June of 2027. And that could be late June into early July. Essentially, June and July are your best months to have everything open 7 days a week. So I have my pick of the litter. So I think I'm going to regroup and shoot for June or June/July of 2027. And I understand that I'll be missing the retreat, but I will still get to see you and probably see Artie because I plan on going to Sweden. So I'll be able to see Artie. And then I could see Asia because I could probably work Poland into the route. So I can still see quite a few people. She was like, okay. So I was part of the retreat planning committee. So I hopped into that Facebook group chat and was just like, hey, I made the decision to hold off on going in September. I won't be able to get all the things done that I wanted to get done. It's too late in the year. So I'm going to try for next summer. And that'll be that. And I was like, but if you need any assistance in planning or, if there's anything I can do remotely, even though I'm not going, just let me know. So I left it at that. And then one of the other committee members was like, well, should we just reschedule to next summer? And I'm like, I don't want you guys to completely change things on my account. Like that was not my intention that everything gets moved around me or around anyone else. This is just a decision I'm making. If everyone else is already planning for September, then, oh, come on. You can poop further down. I'm sorry. That's someone's yard. We're almost to the Coors plant and you can cover that whole place in poop. Sorry, you can hold it for another couple blocks. And if you can't, just pull me. But let's try to make it. So yeah, I was like, please don't completely upend this retreat because I've decided to be flaky, So they put up a poll on the retreat. There's a specific retreat Facebook group. They put up a poll So you could vote if rescheduling or keep it the same. I haven't looked at it. I don't know what the consensus is. I don't want to look because I already feel bad enough. I'm just a guilt-ridden person. And I know that's not, I know if 10 other people had already said September and locked it in, that they wouldn't say, well, we're going to cancel all the plans because Anthony can't go. Like, I don't know. I think they were still early enough. It was still early enough that this could be an option. I hope. So anyway, so I don't know what the verdict is. Mia said it's most likely going to get moved, but I don't know. And then she asked me, she's like, did you vote? And I'm like, no, because I don't want to sway the decision. That wasn't my intention. It's like, I'm not voting. So if there's people that say keep it September and they win, then that's it. I'm not worried about it because I'll be able to still see a lot of you guys, a lot of folks. One way or another, I'd love to be there, but I've got to do what makes the most sense in terms of international travel. So anyway, so I think it's going to get moved. I just don't know for sure, but I am not going to do the September. It wouldn't work out. And I wish I had done that research and looked into European park hours and not just assumed, well, it's going to be like the US, they're open every day, or maybe they close on Wednesdays at a certain point. I think this guy's just driving back and forth to either make noise. Maybe he just needs some attention today. Someone needs to look out their window and pay it. You need attentions. Not you, Apollo. that guy. He went to the end of the block and then just turned around and it's like, well, are you just, I don't know, maybe there's a reason. Maybe he's working on it and needed to see how it was running. I don't know. It's a little loud. So anyway, so yeah, so I won't be going in September. I don't know if the retreat will still be happening in September or not. If it is, I'm here to help in whatever way I can. But yeah, I'm gonna try again for, in my head, late June, early July would be when I go. Maybe starting around my birthday and then going all the way through July 4th, because then because my birthday butts up against Juneteenth, so I usually get Juneteenth off, usually get July 4th off, so I'd probably get more free days that I don't have to use vacation time off as well. So we'll see what happens, but yeah. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there. So that kind of changes things as far as what I'm going to do instead. I'm probably just going to focus on US coaster trips and take full advantage of my Six Flags season pass that I already paid for. And hopefully I'll be able to get to do all 3 of my little coaster tours that I have planned. And those are I'll go from most expensive to least. The most expensive one is a loop around Lake Erie. So that would have me flying into Detroit. And then driving down to Sandusky to go to Cedar Point. And then from there, going to Kennywood in Pittsburgh, and Idlewild, which is outside of Pittsburgh, and then up to Waldameer, which is in Erie, and then going to Dorney Park and Seabreeze, which are in kind of northern New York, then going to Niagara Falls, into Canada, up to Canada's Wonderland, and then back down to Detroit on the opposite side of Lake Erie. So that's one loop. That's the most expensive loop. I did a very deep dive using ChatGPT to price everything out. That trip would be right around $5,000 with all the stops and the flights and the this and the that. Right around $5,000. And that's the longest trip. That's 12 days, 13 days. So that's one that I'd like to do. Who knows if it'll happen this year, but that's the plan when it happens. That would be the route. Second place is flying into, let's walk back over here and see if you'll go potty. Second place would be flying into Oklahoma City and going from there, which is Frontier City is the name of the park, to Six Flags St. Louis, Kansas City, and then going to, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget. It's Oklahoma City, Kansas City, and St. Louis. Sorry. So Oklahoma City is Frontier City. Kansas City is Worlds of Fun, I think. Yeah, Worlds of Fun. And then Oklahoma City is Six Flags St. Louis. Wait, no. And St. Louis is Six Flags St. Louis. Anthony, what are you talking about? So those three. And then Branson for Silver Dollar City. And then there's another park down there that I would add to. I'm forgetting the name of it. So 5. That would be second place as far as cost. That's right around like $2,400 all in. And then the least expensive one is the Texas Loop. And that would be flying into Dallas and going to Six Flags Over Texas, then going to Coda Land, which is in Austin, I want to say, and then going to Six Flags Fiesta Texas / SeaWorld in San Antonio, and then going down to Galveston to go to the Galveston Pier, and then back up to Dallas. So that would be one. And there's another little family park in there too. It's teeny tiny. It's called Yesterland Farms. And so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish. The pier is, yes, it's a park, but I think there's only 1 or 2 roller coasters. So that would be the cheapest one. I think that was like $1,500 to $1,700 all in, with flights, car, all that stuff. And those second 2 options would both be about a week, 7 to 8 day trips. So the deciding factor right now is just when certain things happen. So in Texas, there's a new roller coaster opening this year. I just don't know when. They just say summer 2026. So I want to be there I'd like to be there for opening day if I can. If not, I'll go at some point this year. But if I can find out when their opening day is, that would help me decide. And then Cedar Point has their Coaster Mania event that I went to in 2024. That's almost always the first weekend in June, but you never know. So they haven't announced it, and they probably won't until sometime in April. So I'm just waiting to hear on that. And if that comes first, great. But if the Texas coaster says we're opening that weekend, then I would do Texas over Cedar Point because I've already done the Coaster Mania event. And then what we'll call the Midwest, I don't know what you'd call it, Middle America loop, the one where I'm going to Kansas and all that stuff, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri. That one's any old time because there's really nothing new. They're all new roller coasters to me, but there's nothing new being opened or anything like that. So I don't have any preference on when that one happens. So those would probably be the 3 loops. If I was able to get all of those done this year, then I would be on target to ride approximately 120 new to me roller coasters if I was to get all of that done, which would be really cool. So if I could ride 120 new to me roller coasters in 2026, that would be awesome. I really had this goal in my head of being able to ride 200 new roller coasters to me. And so that would mean I need to figure out where another 80 is going to come from. And that would mean tagging on a California trip, going to Six Flags, Knott's, Universal, no Disney, but Six Flags, Knott's, Universal. And that would probably also mean trying to do a small loop back on the East Coast, but going up into like New York, up that area, and potentially going all the way up to Montreal to go to La Ronde. But that would be a huge undertaking and double the overall cost of what I'm trying to do. So, are you just not pooping? What's happening right now? Can you please poop? So I doubt I'll hit 200 new in 1 year. I mean, that's an insane ask. It would have been much more attainable if I was doing a huge Europe loop. But if I'm trying to stick within the US to get that done, then it just would be a massive undertaking. There's also Six Flags Mexico that I could go to as well. But that would probably be just a there and back just to do Six Flags Mexico, which is pretty expensive just for one park. Essentially just flying into Mexico City, going to the park for a couple of days, and then coming home. So we'll see. But I think the 3 that I've mapped out with ChatGPT are the 3 that would be the top 3. And then anything else I'm able to manage would just be icing on the cake. So, yeah, we'll see. There is a new roller coaster here. There's actually 2 new roller coasters here in Colorado that opened last year. One of them is at like a family fun center, not too far from here. Maybe like 30 minutes from here. But I haven't gone on it yet. And it's just a little kiddie coaster, so that's why I'm like, eh. Then there's another one that's kind of a kiddie-esque roller coaster that opened in Estes Park late last year that I never went to. So I technically have 2 new roller coasters that I can ride here in Colorado to help me out, but they're nothing major. They're just little kids' rides. But I'll try to get to them this year as well. So, yeah. And there's alpine coasters that I could hit up. I mean, there's lots of little things I can do to bump the numbers up, but I don't want to pad my numbers out just for numbers and ride a bunch of little kids rides. Like, I'd rather, I want them to be like things I'd actually enjoy, like really enjoy. So we'll see. But yeah, no Europe this year, I don't think. Well, I know it's not going to happen. And with everything going on in the UAE and Saudi Arabia right now, I'm not even thinking about going to Saudi Arabia right now. So that's until that all gets cleared up and they've built the hotel so I don't have to leave the theme park. I'm not even going to entertain the idea of trying to make it out there without that safety of staying on property. So yeah, that's what's going on there. But yeah, I think Europe's going to have to happen in 2027, which means if I ever want to do Asia, it's going to be 2028 or later. Come on. I thought he had to poop earlier when I was like, don't poop. I think he was just sniffing or peeing, but he has not gone poop. So we're just going to keep circling until he decides, because I don't want him to poop in the middle of the street downtown. And this is usually our final poop stop, so we're just going to keep going around until he figures it out. Maybe he doesn't have to go, but we'll try another loop. Try to get him to go. But anyway, so yeah, we'll see. But I'm heavy into planning stages right now. It's just, I'm just waiting for some key pieces of information, and then I'll start booking everything. So, yeah. Okay. All right, so let's get into it. Oh, is this going to be it? Is this the moment? Is this the moment? Nope, more pee. Appo. What's happening? Are you backed up or what? This way? No, we're not crossing the street. We're continuing to do the potty circle. All right. Lola's Craft Corner says, oh my God, that scared the crap out of me. Lola's Craft Corner says, I'm always missing it. I'm going to keep trying in regards to the pop-up live. That's okay. That's why I always call them pop-ups, because I don't ever schedule things ahead of time with pop-up lives. It's just when the mood hits, and, so I think the next time that I'll actually have scheduled lives is for the paint along in May. So you're okay as long as you're cool with the replay. Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe I'll go live if I have some time. I was like, I have some time. So, yeah. I hope you're okay with the replays. Trin gives some heart emojis. Diamonds and Scales says, I'm working on a Ricari canvas. Dexter was my favorite TV show. I went to DP with sparklers and got red crystal drills for the blood. So yeah, I think I mentioned it in the last vlog, but Ricari is a diamond painting shop that I'm interested in checking out. So that's good to know. You'll have to let me know how it ends up turning out. And then Asia says, Janet is amazing. Her customer service is top notch. I placed an order with her literally the day before the sale on the website and wrote to her. I'm so glad I could buy the painting from her. She noticed that I placed it the day before the sale and added the equivalent of Sparkle credit to my account. She's wonderful. The painting is absolutely stunning. It's great that you added special drills to her eyes to add more sparkle. The end result is truly amazing. Thank you for the review. Of course, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Okay, let's keep walking. I don't know what's wrong with you, buddy. We might just walk back to the house and I'll just clip him up outside in the yard and just let him work it out until he poops. I mean, he's got to go at some point. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Jimmy Jam says, great finish. Loved how it turned out. Thank you. And he goes on to say, OMG, I laughed so hard. I haven't laughed so hard in a while. Sounds like it was a fun weekend. That was my vlog 237. Yes. That vlog will apparently go down in infamy. I've been getting so many comments about that vlog, and then I go live and people are like, Anthony, that was insane. I'm like, I know. That's why I was talking. I was being so emphatic. It was crazy, but so much fun. And I got to see Matt and Ben on Friday night and hang out, and they're so cool. They've really helped me. I don't know. I just feel I've just been having a really good time, like getting to know them and hanging out with them, and they just make me feel very comfortable, and they're just really cool guys, and they've introduced me to some other people too, and so yeah, I adore them. I adore them both. April says, hi, Anthony, in regards to one of my, in regards to a post that I had. Hello, thank you. And Miriam Hamid says, huzzah, I need this kit in my life, another stunner. You always choose such cool art, Anthony. Merci, gracias, danke for sharing. Of course, thank you for watching. And Lori says, thanks, Anthony. I missed your pop-up live, but I am following along on the replay. So relaxing. I'm working on Dreamer Designs. Child of God, I just started on it. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, I hope that you find them, like my chill pop-ups. We play lo-fi music and just hang out and relax. So I hope that you enjoy that too. I just added a whole bunch of new music for the most recent one that went up today. Going back to my finish and review of Spirit of the Rainbow, Drills and Whiskers says she is gorgeous. I love MDD and Janet. Happy to hear that you enjoyed working on it. Yes, I did. She's been incredible. Just so willing to just talk about the process and the business and how things work and answering questions, and just super friendly, and you can tell that she just wants it to succeed and take off, and she's putting in the work. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm most likely going to be placing another order. It's probably today. Probably today. In fact, she messaged me just a second ago, so let me pause you. I just need to tell her what my plans are, so hang tight. Okie dokie. Yeah, I was talking to her about a custom, and she's like, I'd really like to do, you had your custom from DAC with you and Apollo, but I'd love to give one a shot too if you have another image of you and Apollo, or Apollo. And I was like, absolutely. Let me send you, I'll look at some pictures and send one over to you. And I was like, so I just wrote her, and I'm like, I'm going to place an order for a couple canvases, because between the one, she already sent me 2, Spirit of the Rainbow and Among the Fire, and then the round mystery kit as just a trial, and then this custom. I'm like, no. Let me buy some kits. And I hope that it's working out. It's mutually beneficial. Like, I'm hoping that my finish of Spirit of the Rainbow and how amazing it went is encouraging people to go take a peek at her shop. So I'm hoping that, I'm returning the favor, and whatever, in the way I can, is by actually working on the canvases and talking about them. But yeah, I'm gonna need to give her some more business, because I'm like, you can't just keep sending me. She's very sweet, and I'm not, by no means am I complaining, but I start to feel like, okay, I need to give you something back. And I've said this before, is I don't want it to become a situation where I'm like, hold on. Okay, sorry. I'm just speaking of Janet, I'm chatting with her right now just to nail down some things. And then also, we finally had a potty break. Finally got it. And I've yet to respond to any comments. Oh, no, that's not true. I have. I just feel like very few. Come on. I love that one of these says trash and one says landfill. I'm like, well, what do you... Okay. All right, let's try to get to some comments. She's typing, so I'm probably going to have to pause you again. Okay. Thank you, Drills and Whiskers. And Ginger Tate says, this is new, and Anthony, I have to say, I feel like you got your love of diamond painting back. So happy to see you on a regular basis. And the podcast, I love it. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been pretty, as consistent as me. Since fall, since coming back from coaster summer, it's kind of funny because, I think I should have made a more formal video, like, hey, I'm sticking around. I'm just going to take a little break over June and July and part of August. Because Bex at the Creativity School, I ordered some sticky bits, her like putty, intergalactic putty style kind of nanotape putty from her. And then she wrote me and she's like, I'm so happy to hear that you're still around in diamond painting. I didn't realize that you were still here after deciding to start the coaster channel. Like, no, I've been creating a lot of videos over over fall of 2025. I'm still here. I'm so sorry I confused you. So I wonder if there are quite a few people out there that think I'm gone. I mean, I was on Angel's Live today, and I said hi, and she was like, "Oh, hi, Anthony. I haven't seen you in forever. How is the Coaster channel going? I miss your content." And I'm like, I've put up like maybe 100 plus videos over the fall, but I think I just confused people. So I wonder if I lost some engagement by flip-flopping on that. So lesson learned, don't make those announcements until you are 100% sure that that's what you want to do, because if people hear that, then they kind of check out, they check out and they just assume you're dead. Yeah, Angel was like, "Oh, I miss your content. How's the new channel going?" I'm like, there's plenty for you to see. Been doing a lot. Started a new podcast, and but it is what it is, I on the flip side, I don't think that's a ton of people, because the channel's also been growing quite significantly over the past month or two. So, for those that I maybe lost because they just, they thought I was done, I've certainly gained quite a few new. So it's kind of a give and take, but yeah. Oh well, that's what happens when you are indecisive and flippant and want to do everything all at once and then get burnt out and panic and then realize you can do it all. Oh well. Karen Seeing Diamonds, thank you for the comment, Ginger. And Karen Seeing Diamonds says #replay. Vaughn says, "I don't know how to see chat and replay. I'm missing out on shopping." And then Diamonds and Scales says, "When you go to the comments, there are 3 dots. If you click it, it says see what was said while it was live." Yes. And there is an option it's defaulted to be off. So YouTube defaults it that you can't see the live replay of the chat, but I always turn it on. So hopefully it's there for you. Let's come over here. And we'll wait for a second, and then we'll cross. And then we'll head back to the house. Yeah. I'm glad that you were able to go potty. I thought you were stopped up. Okay. Thank you for the comment, Vaughn. And is it Angie or Angel Lang? It says, "Very beautiful. I can't wait to see you finish Midnight Reverie." I know. Now that my round drill for Mystical Dream Diamonds is technically done, as in the mystery kit, the round mystery kit is technically on a hiatus until we see what comes of it. I guess I could work in a new square if I really wanted to. I have my 2 round drill kits for Dueling Dragons. So my Margaret Morales and my Michael David Ward. I've got those 2 going. And then I have my custom from Diamond Art Club is my only square. So I should probably be working on that if I need a square in my life. But I could also give in to the itch of, oh, he's such a cutie. He was barking. This little puppy was barking, and then he ran to go get his toy and ran it up to the fence like, "Hey, I've got a fun toy." And he was barking into his toy, so it was like, "Whoa, whoa, come look at my cool toys. Come play." That was so adorable. Oh, it makes me want to walk over there and be like, if they're friendly, I'll let Apollo in the yard so they can play with toys. That was so sweet. Oh my goodness. I have pictures of Apollo and Dallas which is one of Matt and Ben's dogs. They have Dallas, Babs, and then the third dog, I feel bad like being like, how do you pronounce your dog's name? But they say it so fast that I'm like, are they saying Pepper? Are they saying, what are they saying? So I need to pay more attention when they call for that dog or say its name. He's a cutie. He's the one that is in love with me the most. He's a humans over dogs dog, so he likes to be right by my side. But I don't know his name. But Dallas has fallen in love. Him and Apollo have been best friends and falling in love. They just play together, and Dallas is not even a year old yet. They just play together constantly, and then when they're passed out, they just lay on top of each other just in exhaustion, and it's so cute. Like Dallas just will like flop down on top of Apollo and have his front two paws over Apollo's like torso and just be sleeping, and Apollo's laying on his side asleep, and they just, Apollo's a cuddle bug, so he's in love. He's in love. So I have a couple pictures of them together, and they're such little sweethearts. And so, the first visit to their place, they became quick friends, but Babs is she's kind of a shepherding dog, a herding dog. So she was kind of not super keen on Apollo and was trying to like nip him and keep him in line and just trying to figure him out. And then I took him up there on Friday, and she did a little bit of that at the beginning, but then she started to play with him in Dallas a little bit more, and Chase, and they would be grappling and wrestling, and she'd be like, whoa, 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 that's too much roughhousing. So she's like getting in there going like, you're playing too hard with my brother, leave Dallas alone. But then she like really just it just took a couple visits, and now she's used to it, and like she just seems like she's trying to manage all the other dogs and keep everybody in line. And so now she's learned how Apollo likes to play and his mannerisms. She's kind of figured him out. So now she just kind of watches from afar and just keeps an eye on everything like she does with her other dogs, her other brothers. So at first I was like, ooh, I don't know if they're gonna be able to hang together very well. And now this second visit, I'm like, oh, I see. She's just trying to be the boss mom or the bossy older sister, and she's now kind of chilled out. So, and Apollo's like twice the size of both of them. So, I mean, there's only so much she can do. He just barrels right over her. But yeah, so it's so awesome to have dogs for him to play with. And, I go up there for the day or the afternoon, and they're just going wild. And then he comes home and he's like blacked out tired. He just like falls down and just lays there. On Friday when I came home, didn't go straight to bed. I brushed my teeth and put my jammies on and grab a little snack and a glass of water. He's passed out in the living room, just out like a light. And I'm like, okay, all right, let's go. And he just looks at me, and I'm like, well, I'm going to bed. So I went upstairs and I get all snuggled up, but I left the door open, and Maddie and Joe have been gone this weekend. I left the door open. I'm like, well, surely he'll come up here and get in bed. No, I laid there for like 10 minutes. He was perfectly content, just not even moving a muscle. So I had to get up, go to the stairwell and be like, Apollo, yelling his name, like, get up here. What are you doing? And I hear him lazily get up and plod his way up the stairs and get in bed and be like, like, fine. I was perfectly comfortable downstairs. So he was beat. So it's nice to have some friends with a bunch of dogs and a big open yard out in the mountains where he can just run around and in the woods around their property all day. It's like perfect for him. It gets all of his energy out, and he's so much more just calm when he gets that amount of exercise. He's so much more of a happy dog. He eats regularly, you know. I take him to off leash and we'll do miles on miles, and like today will probably end up being 4 or 5 miles. But he can go much longer than that. He allows that to be the amount, but he could do probably double or triple of what we do every day. And so to see him fully just like exhausted at the end of a day and just smiling, and he gets his social energy out as opposed to when we just walk around town like this. He gets that social energy out too. It's just, I could go on. I'm in love with Matt and Ben. I could go on and on. It's just, I don't know. You know, when you like meet some new friends or like new people come into your life and you just feel this like shift. You know, they've just brought something completely different and refreshing and just like, I don't know. It's great. It's great to have some friends like that. Not that my other friends aren't that, but these are very different personalities and lifestyles than anybody else I interact with. And it's just like very new and cool. And it's great that they also are like pet people and dog people and have some very friendly dogs that are just as welcoming of Apollo. It's just like, I don't know how I freaking lucked out, but yeah, they're cool cats. Okay. This is Lee, I believe, right? Lee? I always mess this up. She said, it's pronounced this, but my parents decided to spell it this way. I think it's Lee. Says, Janet seems amazing to work with. I emailed to see if a certain kit would ever be hand rendered. I was going to order it either way. She said she'd send it off for hand rendering for me. Such great customer service, and now I can't wait to get my hands on it. I love your finish. Thanks for sharing great info about this company. Of course, that is so cool. That's so cool that she was able to do that for you. That's amazing. Artie says, thank you for bringing up field versus drill size. I feel it's not usually explained, and therefore some people are left confused when they say tight drill field. Yeah, I usually don't, but I think it was important for, especially for like a new to me shop, to discuss that, because that is a pain point for me sometimes. So I'll have to try to remember to include that as part of my repertoire for finishes, but I don't always do that. Was that that might have been Joe and Maddie. They're coming back from a camping trip and they took their flatbed, back of the truck camper up, and that looked kind of like his truck. I feel like he would have honked though. Anyway, Trin says, great job, your enthusiasm is so infectious. Oh, thank you. And Diamonds and Doodad says, as a huge fan of both Mariella Rinaldi and Mystical Dream Diamonds, it makes me so happy to hear you had a great experience. Thank you for sharing. Of course, thanks for watching. And Vicky says, this is stunning, or that is stunning. I really like the way they render both the touched-up computer renders and the more heavily hand-rendered pieces with necessary confetti left alone. Anxiously awaiting my first shipment. I'll be tearing into one of those kits as soon as it arrives, by the way. Great camera work zeroing in on the drill field. Of course, I think Vicky was the one that had asked me to do that. And I was like, don't forget. And at first I was like, well, I'll have to do it as I'm filming. Physically zoom in my camera. And then I forgot to do that. And I was like, there's got to be a way for me to do this in post. So I essentially did, when I do my pan over from top to bottom, I use that same tool, but I just started in the center and then I said finish really tight, and it looked good. So if I forget to do it in filming, I can always do it in editing, which is nice to know. So I'm glad you liked that. Wildcat says, super expensive for what you got. Not sure why it's labeled Masterclass to start with. For me, Masterclass kit would include a custom pen and a tray that matched the theme of the canvas and a biography of the artist, in addition to the canvas and special drills. I actually like the Diamond Dots drill sheet you got. Thank you for the in-depth review, Anthony. I finished the Kiss from Diamond Dots regular kit and loved every minute of it. The special drills were fabulous. Cannot wait to work on another Gustav Klimt painting. Happy diamond painting. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't have any plans on working on that Masterclass kit anytime soon. We'll see, though. I mean, I would say not until next year, probably. If it was to happen, the soonest would probably be next year. But I'm really curious about that Feelook kit that I got that claims to have mini drills. I'm curious to see how that compares to the micro drills directly from Diamond Dots, and if they truly are from Diamond Dots or they've come up with their own spin on it. I don't know. I'm very intrigued by what will arrive from Feelook, and how it compares. So, yeah. Thank you. Mimi Sparkling Diamond says, beautiful finish. I need to go check them out. I'm also picky, so I will pay close attention to the renderings. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Have a great week. Of course. Thanks for watching. And you as well. Avari says, one putty to rule them all. One putty to rule them all. Love that. Great review. I can't wait to try this company. Yay! It's so nice when I find a small shop that I'm like, oh, this is good stuff, because I feel like that's not always the case. So to be like, yes, go check it out, you're gonna be happy, it's good. Now, I already kind of talked a little bit about how things went with the round drills, and just keep in mind that their round drills, at least at the time of filming this, have that white circle around the symbol and then the colored printed. So you have to be a really good placer. Come on. You have to be a really good placer to get those drills dead center. So you don't see that little white peeking through. Again, it's very reminiscent of Diamond Dots canvases. And it's not a problem. You just have to be aware. And so I did, again, mention to Janet, in an ideal world, it would just be the color that it should be all the way through, and then a white symbol on darker backgrounds and a black symbol on lighter backgrounds. And even if you need to put the very faint, what do they call it? Training wheels, the training circles to help people kind of center it. That's absolutely an option, but I would almost prefer the very faint little circles, the black circles, as opposed to the white circles in the center, because I'm not a good placer, so I struggle. I spend a lot of time straightening with canvases that are printed in that way. So, not impossible, but not ideal. I'm so hungry. We were talking about chain restaurants and food and stuff on the live stream, and I was like, guys, I'm so hungry. And I asked Matt and Ben if they wanted to come down for dinner, or I could meet them closer to them. It seems like they're kind of all settled in for a lazy Sunday. So I'm probably going to drop Apollo off and then go find myself something to eat. I don't know what, though. I don't know what. I just know I'm hungry. There's a new Turkish, it's a food truck, but it's got a permanent location here in town. And it's Turkish. Stay here. Easy. Hi. And it's Turkish. And I keep passing by it, and I'm like, oh, I really got to stop there. But they're closed on Sundays, so. There's a place not too far from there that's called Aladdin. And that's kind of a Mediterranean kind of fusion-y kind of place. And they're really good too. I haven't ordered from them in a while. It's really good food, and it's actually not unhealthy. They have an incredible baba ganoush. And they put this pomegranate seed honey drizzle on top of the baba ganoush. Oh, so good. But it's kind of family style, so it's pricey. Sure, I'll get several meals out of it, but sometimes I'm like, do I really need to be plunking down $50-$60 for a dinner? Even though, yes, I'll end up getting 3-4 meals out of it, but that upfront cost is scary because it's meant to feed. Like, you get like this big platter that's like serves 2 to 3. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I end up going for. I do have stuff at home that I could eat too, but, you know, I can take that into lunch tomorrow. And also, I'd like to go sit down somewhere. So getting a big old platter just for table for one, yeah, I'll probably end up just going to a regular restaurant. We were talking about Olive Garden. I was like, oh God, I should go get a little soup, salad, and breadstick situation. And then we were talking about the Cheesecake Factory. I think I mentioned that. Like, maybe I should go sit down and get a little seat at the bar at Cheesecake Factory. So we'll see what I end up landing on. Actually, Cheesecake Factory sounds good. They have a combo plate there. I don't know if they call it this still, but it used to be called the Renee's Special. And you would get a half sandwich, and they have an almond chicken salad sandwich that's delicious. So you get a half of that, then you get a bowl of soup, whatever their soup selection is, or a soup of the day, and then a half salad. And I usually would get the Caesar. So you get this little trio. It made for a nice lunch, but it would do for a nice light dinner too. Then I would have room for cheesecake. Maybe a little cocktail. I feel like going out tonight, having a little dinner. We'll see. We'll see. I get home and I'm gonna be like, ugh, I don't want to get in the car. And I feel Cheesecake Factory really isn't the kind of place that you need to get dressed up for. At least I don't think. And so I probably wouldn't walk in there with my sweatpants and a hoodie. I kind of want a place where I can just tuck into the corner somewhere and get something good. Oh, you know what? I'm going to get pho. Maybe I'll just get pho. Because then I can be in my sweats. And the waiter there's super nice. He's kind of a little cutie. He's always very polite to me, and I think I've talked about it before. He always comments, because I go in there for dinner, and I always order a Vietnamese coffee, and he's always like, coffee? It's 7 o'clock. Like, he looks at his watch, and he's like, you're going to get Vietnamese coffee this late? You're going to be up all night? And I'm like, no, it doesn't affect me like that. And then I'll go in there, order a coffee. He's like, oh, are you going out tonight? Are you going out tonight? Is that why you need the energy? And I'm like, shut up, dude. He's a sweetheart. So I'll go do that. I'll go get pho. I want to go see my pho restaurant friend. He even asked me, I was like right around New Year, he's like, what do you drink for New Year's? And I was like, well, I mean, I like a cocktail if I had to pick, or I'll do a beer or something like that. And he's like, I only drink beer. And I was like, oh, okay. Good to know. Come on. Cup. Nice. So yeah, I'll go get some pho. Maybe I won't even get pho this time. I'll do like a noodle bowl or something. So I don't think I've had their noodle or rice platters. I always get pho. I just love pho. All right. Sorry, I've been hungry for like the past like 3 hours. Doretta says, hi, Anthony, Jazz Hands Shadow. It came out so well. Beautiful. Loving the music, too. Yes, so I think I typed in, for that finish and review, I think I searched psychedelic or something like that in my sound software or my music software. And that song came up and I was like, that song is perfect for this canvas. So I'm glad you liked it. Doretta goes on to say, hashtag replay, she's beautiful, I can't wait to see it completed. And then you did get to see it. Doretta goes on to say, hi Anthony, OMG, first let me say I finally got caught up on your videos. I did a single and placing marathon, and then you started talking about going to the Eagle bar. Let me tell you that I stopped diamond painting and leaned into the video listening. I love you and your open honesty. I was cracking up at your reactions. So glad you had such a great time. Also, let me tell you, you're a very attractive person. I'm waiting to hear that you met someone, but want to say you shouldn't pet the pup in the hot tub. Yeah, I loved it all. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was giving Doretta a hard time today on the live stream because she had commented that she was gonna stop being flirty with the guys in the diamond painting community, either, you know, the ones that actually diamond paint or husbands or significant others of those that are crafters. And I was like, who is she being flirty with? And then Mia was like, well, David, Mia's husband. I was like, oh, I see. Well, I guess I'm just chopped liver then. And Mia started laughing. And Doretta's like, hey, I tell you all the time that you're attractive. I'm like, I know you do. I was just giving you a hard time. Thank you so much, Doretta. I appreciate it. And Lisa says, excited for everything you are doing. You do things on such a level of excellence. Oh, my word. Thank you. I try. I do as best as I can with the time and the energy and the funds that I have at my disposal. I'll just say that. I try to do as best I can with what I have to work with in front of me and not look at those things that I have in front of me and be like, I'm just gonna leave them on the table. Like, I'm gonna try to do what I can. I think the thing I've been most proud of so far this year is the audio for the at-home stuff. Now, the audio on these things is kind of as good as it's going to get until technology advances for like wireless on-the-go microphones. But the at-home, I'm really happy with how videos are sounding these days. So, thank you. And Wildcat says, awesome first podcast. You both did a fantastic job. Loved getting to know you both. Anthony, I know you were nervous introducing yourself, but it didn't show. You are a natural. Mia, I love Chicago Fire too. I also watched Chicago Med and PD. Thank you both for sharing your love of diamond painting and for inspiring me. Cannot wait for episode 2. Much love from Arizona. Thank you so much. And I'm not sure if you've been around our channels previously or the podcast brought you here, but if it has, welcome and thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. Yeah, it was giving me a hard time. She's like, okay, well, after you're done going live, I'm probably gonna diamond paint and maybe go watch PD. And I was like, Private Detective? And she's like, no, Chicago. And I was like, yes, Mia, what else could it possibly be? Uh-oh, what's this? There is someone on the ground. Hold on, everyone. Hold on. That's scary. I don't know what happened, but either someone fell off of their bike or was hit by a car on their bike just back behind us. But the the college, here in Golden, School of Mines, they have their own police department or police outpost, I guess. I don't know what you call it, but they're actual police officers for the city and for the school. And so he pulled up just as I was walking up to them, and I could hear at least 2 people on the line with 911. There was 2 people kneeling next to him, talking to him, and it sounded like they were getting responses. I didn't get too close, obviously. So I don't know. I don't know what just happened, but that's scary. That's scary. Luckily, the cops were there, and it sounds like things are happening, but yikes. Yikes. Oh, let's go. That was crazy. I hope everybody's okay. Okay, a couple more comments. Well, that really threw that totally changed the tone. I hope everyone's okay. Okay. Mia says, "Hey love, Hey love, with all the new equipment you're getting, eventually I will get a message. Ma'am, you need to upgrade some stuff here, okay? LOL. Our first episode has gotten a lot of positive traction, I think, and now we will move on the next one. Before you know it, will be a year in. Talk soon. Love you. Love you too, Mia. Thank you." I don't think, I mean, unless you want to, Mia, unless you want to, but I think we're still in early days to be making more investments in things specifically just for the podcast. You know, like, of course, I've been messing with the audio and video beat, you know, and one of the reasons was the podcast, but I've always had an eye out for trying to, like, upgrade my own setup and making my videos as good as I can, given funds and all that stuff. So yeah, I will not be knocking on your door asking you to spend money. If we start getting ad revenue from this podcast and there's money to play with around it, then that would be cool if we could upgrade stuff. But no, you're fine. And I think what you have now is totally fine. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Elisa Maria Design says, "Oh no, just listening to the rest of this video. I hope it turns out well." That was in regards to Apotheosis of the Slavs by Muka and Jaded Gem Shop. Yeah, it didn't. It wasn't big enough for the amount of detail and what's needed. So, and I did try to give that kit away, and I got turned down. So that one ended up finding it's now a diamond painting in the sky, or in a landfill, unfortunately. But yeah, that one was just it's not sized appropriately for the detail. So yeah. Elisa Maria says, "Ooh, how gorgeous," in regards to it. And then she was like, "Oh no, I'm just listening to the rest." Then Elisa Maria says, in regards to my unboxing of Among the Fire, "Ooh, I love this one too." And then my unboxing of Spirit of the Rainbow. Elisa Maria Design says, "I have been looking at this canvas from Mystical Dream Drills." I think she means diamonds. "Never heard of it. Came up during today's live." Whoops. "I'm so happy that we announced that you did unboxings for them. I'll go check it out. They look fabulous. Thanks, Mia, for letting us know." Yeah, and Elisa Maria, maybe I'll just message her and be like, "Hey, I have the finish up now, if you want to go take a look." I was listening to her live that she did a couple days ago and heard them talking about it. So I wasn't on the live, I was at work, but I did hear it. Elisa Maria goes on to say, hello, finally have my phone in hand after today's pop-up live. Thanks for popping in, Mia. We did a lot of talking about You Know the Drill. Congrats. Looking forward to episode 2. Yay, I'm glad you liked it. Denise, oh no, I'm sorry, not Denise. Desiree says, love this video. Yay, thank you. That was in regards to my diamond painting putty comparison video. Come on, buddy. I hear an ambulance, guys. All right, well, I'm gonna pause it there. I'm just gonna stop, and so I can take a moment to send some juju prayers, whatever you want to call it, up wherever they need to go for that guy. Yeah, so that'll be it. I will talk to you later. You guys do the same. And yeah, I don't mean to leave this on a sour note, but I don't think, that's all I can think about right now. I'm completely just frozen. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to do all the things. I appreciate you being here. We'll get to some more comments at some point in the future. But yeah, thanks for being here. Love you. Stay safe. And we'll see you next time. Bye.